This is the second part of creating my logo in Illustrator. In this part, I'm going to want to open a new layer and name it Wingtip Feather Detail. I will do this to keep what I have done up to this point from getting confused with or activated by what I'll be working on now. In this layer, I've drawn two relatively feather-like shapes with no fill. If I click directly on one of the lines in the feather-like object, it should light up like this. I'm now going to put a black fill into the object. For an object to become filled with a color, it has to be called what's a closed shape, meaning that all of the anchor points have to touch one another. All I need to do is to select the fill icon from the tool palette and change the color to black, and it will instantly be filled with the color. If I click on the other feather shape, notice what happens. To my fill color icon, it shows no fill. Diagonal line with no color has been selected. So again, I select the icon and change the color to black. Now I don't want to have to keep drawing feathers individually. I have two, and I can modify them enough as needed to make them all look gradually different. So I copy the top one by either going to Edit, Copy, or do Command C. This will allow me to simply do a Command V and paste the copied feather right alongside the previous one. Now, unlike Photoshop, Illustrator won't create another layer when I do this. Sometimes this is a good thing, and sometimes it can make things difficult. If you wanted a separate layer to paste the feather into, you would need to create one specifically, name that layer, and then to put it there before using the paste command. By using the direct selection tool, I can then manipulate the object by simply grabbing the handles at either side and rotating it. Or if you wanted to make it longer or wider, grab the side handles and pull them out this way. Here I've simply rotated it a bit. Then pulled it out a bit longer and a bit fatter and positioned it over the first one. By copying and pasting the second feather, I am able to begin to flesh out the tip of the wing with what appears to be individual feathers. When I need to tweak with the width and the length, I simply grab one of the handles and manipulate them until I have the desired look of the feather shape. I'm now going to use the bottom feather shape and create more. Here I have rotated and pushed the handles of the original feather shape out until it looks fatter than the original one. Then I rotate it until it looks like it's emanating from the same source as the others. Now I decide that I need yet another feather shape at the extreme tip of the wing, so I grab the second feather shape and do a Command C, Command V, or Edit Copy, Edit Shape move. I drag the new feather shape out towards the tip of my trace layer, crow's wing, and rotate it into position. By using my magnification tools and then holding down the Alt key, I can quickly back out and look at the detail of the wing in greater detail. I've determined that there is enough detail here and I'm ready to close this up. So I click and drag around all of the feathers that I've created in this layer. And I use the pull-down menu to do the Object Group. I could also use the keyboard shortcut for this, which is Command G. This takes all of the feather objects and treats them as one group, meaning that if I move one, you'll move them all. If you click off of them and then back on any of them, they will all light up like this. This not only makes them easier to move in place, it also makes them easier to collect up and move to a new layer if we need them to do that. I could also change both their line stroke color and their fill color all at once simply by highlighting them and changing the color icons in the tool palette.